Hey folks, how you doing? We know that there's always been words or hearings about the mysteries of the temple, you know what I mean? The mysteries of God and so forth and so on. You know what I mean? The hidden secrets and so forth and so on. Well, where did all this originate at? You know what I mean? You can talk about where all these mysteries originated. You know what I mean? It takes us way back, okay? Um, we'll go back to the times of the old medicine man. They're in Central Africa somewhere, you know? And even he had his secrets, okay? Because the people came to him when they were feeling bad, etc., and and they paid him for his services, you know. But he didn't tell anybody his secrets, his skills, his craft. You know, he kept that to himself, okay? Because he, according to the standards of the time, the age, etc., well, he got wealthy, you know, because the people paid a fee for his services. Even the king or the chief, you know what I mean, paid handsomely for the services of the medicine man, later called the witch doctor by some folks, you know what I mean. But anyway, he he did very well for himself, you know what I mean, and highly prized by the people, you know, because of his services. And he was an herbalist, you know. So when the people came to him, he would check them out. He would examine them. You know, you look at their eyes, look at their tongue, okay, the palms of their hands, the palms or bottoms of their feet. He checked them out. He would listen, put his ear to the chest or stomach of a person. You see what I mean? Making sure that everything was working solidly in here. The sound's all right, this sound's all right, so forth and so on. Well, he picked these things up over the year, many, many years, because it was handed down to him from generation after generation after generation. Okay? And so he was qualified. Okay? But over the years, okay, many, many years, the people began to migrate, etc., you know, and many of them migrated along rivers because they had water and so forth and so on, you know. Tribes would break up when there were so many people. The tribe would break up, you know, and because they said there wouldn't be a food shortage and all that, and some of the folks would move on, maybe 100 miles or so, you know what I mean, to another area, okay? They stuck by the water, though, because they needed water, of course, to survive. And so this went on, like I say, for many, many thousands of years. And so finally the people eventually made it to the land of Egypt, okay? Ancient Egypt, the Kemites, okay? So when a group of people, okay, entered the land of Egypt into one of the nomes, they called the districts nomes, well, the priests, okay, there, would come and talk to them. The priest would talk to the medicine man, etc. You know what I mean? Because the priests, okay, didn't want the knowledge to be disseminated amongst the people. So they had to talk to the medicine man, you know what I mean? See just what he knew, you know what I mean? And even learn something from him, especially when it came to the herbs, you know what I mean? And other things that he was, specialized at, you know, because the priests, okay, were the ones people turned to when they were sick in Egypt, okay? And so we have a newcomer, a priest who was full of knowledge, you know what I mean? they would make him a priest. Take him into the temple. You come on, be with us because you got just too much knowledge. You know what I mean? And we can't afford to have it just out here and amongst the people. You come into the temple, and if the people need help, okay, they come to the temple. You see what I mean? And we help them there. Okay, so this is how the secrets. They kept the secrets there in the temple. This is why the medicine man, okay, he'd go to the temple and become a priest. You know what I mean? And so he shared whatever knowledge he had with the priests of the temple, etc. But all this is secret. Like from the beginning, the medicine man kept his secret. You see what I mean? And so when he gets to the lower Nile Valley in the land of the Kemites, the secrets were still kept by those in the temple. All right? Now, another thing, you know what I mean, about the secret was that the folks got wealthy. You know what I mean? By keeping the secret and treating people. Like today. You know what I mean? The medicine man today, right, in every country, wherever you go, makes money. He keeps the secret, He keeps where he learned his skills and so forth and so on, knowledge of his skills to himself. For the most part, you know what I mean? So, this went on and on and on. But we have other folks, too, okay, who dealt in medicine, herbal medicine, whatever, whatever they had going for them. And so we had traveled over to Europe, okay? Well, they had these ladies who they referred to as witches, That is because they knew the mysteries. Just like the medicine man back there in Africa. They all knew the mysteries. And they knew how to treat people's illnesses, you see. And so these ladies, we call them the ladies of the forest because the woods, because we see that they, outside of their house, they would have a vat, smoke of steam rising from it and all that, cooking their brew, or maybe it was just hot water. But whatever they had in there was always there. But it was probably a brew because they had pictures of her stirring up the brew and stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah, her secret medication, you know what I mean? But she was well liked. The witches were well liked by the people, not the church, you see, because the witches knew the secret. Therefore, the secret was out of the temple. Okay. So the church wasn't too pleased with this. The Pope, the cardinals, the bishop, they wasn't too pleased with those witches down there. You know what I mean? They were making money. They were accumulating a following of people. The people loved them. Even some wealthy folks would go down there, you know what I mean, when they had a problem. You know what I mean? Well, why didn't they go to the priests? You see what I mean? In the Roman Catholic Church or the Protestant Church. Why didn't they go see them? Well, here's why. So here's a little story here. So we have a guy who's feeling bad. He's terrible. He's upset. He's feeling sick. He's hurting. He's in pain and so forth and so on. And so he goes to the priest and he tells him, "See, Father, I'm in great pain. I'm sick and so forth and so on. Please help me." And so the father say, "Of course, let's go pray." And so they would go there, kneel down, and they would pray. You know what I mean? And they would rose up from the prayer. You know what I mean? And so forth and so on. And the priest say, "God will take care of you. God bless you," and so forth and so on. So the gentleman would leave. But he's still in pain. He's still sick. wait a minute, it's not working. So he meets a guy along the road, and this guy tells him, so, well, look, you know what I mean? I see now that you're in bad straits. He said, there's a lady down there in the woods. You walk a couple miles here, you make a right, you make a left down there, and you make a little right back up into the woods. And you will see a lady's house up there. She will help you. And indeed, he would go there, and the lady would examine him and look at him and check him out, just like the old medicine man did. And she would prescribe a medicine for him, or herbal medicine, and give him a cup, go in the house and get some medication together, some herbs, and give him in a cup, go to that vat and get some of that water or liquid out of there and tell the man to drink it, and you'll be all right in a few minutes. The guy drank it, and he felt fine. A few minutes, he was feeling fine. Well, whatever she gave him worked. You know what I mean? And so he would move on, but he'd pay a little something, he'd move on. But when he got ill again, who was he going to? Is he going to go to the old lady down there in the woods, or is he going to go to the priest? Well, he's going to the old lady. You know what I mean? Because what she did for him worked. And the same thing with some of the wealthy folks. So those old witches down there in the woods got wealthy. They had land. They was very, very wealthy. But the church didn't like all of that. Then we come to the Inquisition around 1450 or so to around 1850. They killed about 5 to 6 million women. The cult said they were witches. Why? Because they had the knowledge. And their knowledge was outside of the control of the temple. And they were making money that the temple wanted. You see what I mean? So they got rid of the witches. So that's the secret. They kept the secret in the temple, and if somebody come up with knowledge, they were in danger. Danger of the folks in the temple. They didn't want that knowledge disseminated. But during the Dark Ages, they didn't even want people to go to college, go to school. Maybe a few wealthy folk. You know what I mean? But that was it. They kept the knowledge away from the people. They wanted to control the people. They wanted to control the money. They wanted to control the minds of the people. And they did, even to this day. They still have the mystery system. You go and you say, well, I have this question about so forth and so on. And you ask the question. They say, oh, that's God's mystery. Either they don't have an answer for the question, or they don't want you to know. So they say it's God's mystery. And you're not supposed to, get involved with God's mysteries and leave that alone. You know what I mean? So anyway, the secret of the temple is kept. So we even have here the origin of keeping the secret with the old medicine man. You see what I'm saying? And the secret is still kept. Okay? That takes us into what we might call the Rock of Ages, or the Stone. Okay, folks, I'll get back with you, and we have something else to talk about soon. All right, have a good one. Bye.